Hi everyone. Recently, as I was working on one of my projects, I just wanted to share like how you can create a custom resume. Let's say you have different URLs for your website and you want it to be customized and you want I want a view where I can change the contents of my website and then get it live within a second of adding just as an end panel for our backend parts. So in this, like we can just build a custom page with all these inputs. Okay, so let's get started by creating a new Laravel app. Laravel new custom page. No, I don't need a base, not test. I have no, not it. No, okay, it is there. Just wait while our Laravel app is getting installed. You can use this custom page functionality of Filament in many ways. Like you can create your own custom, and I'm gonna use. Let's just use MySQL for now, just for the testing purpose. And yes, our level up is here. And if I type custom page, we are in it. And if I click on code, I can have it here. Now, as you can see, we have our project over here. I will just have to get done with this IP because what I'm using is a Docker image to build out my thing basically, and I don't have a MySQL binary locally, so I'm using a Docker container to run my MySQL commands. Okay, what I will need the IP. So let me quickly fetch it, and I'm just going to paste it over here. And I have user host, which I'm using currently, and a password. Now, just let us hit. Oh, I'm not going to use this terminal. We will use our item, and let's clear this out. PHP artisan migrate to check whether our connection is working or not. As you can see right now, I don't have a database of named custom pages. So it is asking whether it should create a new database or not. So of course it should. And now when we get back over here and refresh, we have our own database called custom page. Okay, and we are good. Now let's move to VS Code. And we will get started by installing Filament first. So let me quickly search for Filament PHP. We'll go to its documentation. Sorry, let's get started. First of all, I will copy this command, paste it over here, and let it install. While it's installing, let's copy our filament panel install command and hit enter. It will ask like what is the panel that I'm starting currently with. So I will go with the default admin. Would you like to show some love? I have already did. If you haven't, please do. So that's our directory, and I think we are good to go. But to open it up, we will first need to create a admin user. Let it be admin at the rate gmail.com. And let password be password. And of course, I'm going to link it browser using herd. So herd link. Voila, we are here. You will need this one to go to the browser and then dot test to open it up. So yes, we have our fresh installation. And if I go to admin, I will have to use this Gmail to log in with the password that I created. So Okay, so I have logged in. Now, as you can see, I don't have anything at the moment. I just have a dashboard and a sweet little toggle between the dark mode and light mode. So I'm going to use the light mode for now. And do we have some issue? Yes, we did. It's clear. And now I'm going to start by creating a custom page. So you can go to the pages where you can see the command for creating a page. Okay. And let's say I am creating the same resume page. Okay. Hit enter. We don't have any resource or something like that. We're just going to create a single page. We are good. Now, if I copy this up, sorry, and I go to this, I have my page. But before this, we need a database table to save this entry in table so that we can work around with it. So first of all, what I will do is be artisan make model pages with migration. So let's just move the migration first. Now, if you come over here, we will need some things. Like first one will be our type, because right now we are creating a resume, but that can be of any type. Sorry, for example, an about page, a work page, a portfolio page, and many more, depending upon what your requirement is. So I will mention type. You can also define it as enum if you have some specific types, or you can also use that is enum in later on in your code. So I'm just going to keep it as it is because I'm just going to showcase you how it for only one page. So yeah, and then I'm going to use a JSON column. So all data, yeah, all the configuration of our this particular page will be stored in this particular column and nowhere else. Okay, and we will need to associate this page to an user because as you saw at the starting, I created a user. Okay, and according to that, there is a user to log in. So all the entities created within this one can be multiple. For example, you log in with other account, so that account will have some other informations, something like that. So okay, now I have created the relation. So let's move to the page model, and over here we will add protected dollar fillable. In fillable, we have 2 to 3 columns. First one is user ID, as you saw previously in migration, and second one is type, and third one is what was it was data. Okay, so now we have everything in check. Now what we'll need is a relation because we will need to mention that relation to use it. Mm, let's say this page belongs to a user, belongs to, and then we'll define belongs to relation and we'll mention user model over here. Oh, sorry, I did something wrong. Yeah, surely I did. Okay, so no, I didn't return it. That's my most common mistake. I forgot to return. So yeah, and now I'm just going to let me see. We have created our data migration. We have created our model. Okay, now I also need to define this relation in user model as well. So let's go and add. Let it be public function pages because a user can have a multiple pages. So we can say sorry has many. A user has many pages. Okay, and over here we can define the model for the page. It's not filament page. I forgot to write down. And here we are. And now we are going to run our int command so that we can clear out all the unnecessary imports that our files have. Now we are clear. So I have a relation now, and let's just over here. I have added a relation over here as well. And now we have a user who has multiple pages. But what we're gonna use, I'm going to use only an about page. Okay. And to make the word, what I can do is public const name. Let the name be about. Okay. And I can I'm just not curious about using strings, so I'm just going to use a constant at time of insertion or whatever I'm going to make. So now I have this page called resume, and I also have a view. Okay, and resource views filament. I have a view called resume plate, which always have this block, which is basically like I haven't showed you a UI right for this page. If we move to the browser and refresh, we have page. When you click on it, you have a page over here, which is basically an extension for Power Filament component. Now, we are going to start by adding, sorry, resume page. So what I will need to do is, first, let's add implements as form because we are going to use form. And then a trait interact with, what was this? Interact with form. Okay, now we have these two traits in a place. So let's first define a title for this particular page, and I will show you how it looks like in a minute. If I go to protected, oh sorry, protected static string to the title is equals to, let's let the title be resume page. Now if you go over here and hit refresh, you will see now the title has changed. Okay, and over here page name has also changed. So now, okay, so we have browser next to it. Now what we need is, first of all, let's define an array. And that array is basically the data that we are going to use for manipulating, interacting, and all that stuff. Okay. Mm-hmm. ARRAY dollar data is equals to empty. Now I have created this. Now we will also need a user associated with this particular page because we have a relation for the particular user, and that will come from the user model, and we are just going to define the variable. So now we're gonna start first by mounting our values. Okay, and we're gonna mount our values with a view. Before that, just let me quickly grab a glimpse of what. So we will also in this page, let us add the form. Okay, uh, let me just copy and paste over here, and we will explain it like how this looks like. Okay, now we have added a form panel with actions exported from that particular component. So we will add actions on the component itself, and all the form value will be rendered over here. Okay, wait. Now, okay, so now first we will start by mounting the value. Okay, and with mount, sorry, public, mhm, public function empty mount. Um, Return type is void. Okay, now first of all, I will start by mounting the user value first. Okay, now dollar this user is equals to, we're gonna get the filaments authenticated user. Okay, filament get current panel, and then we'll get the auth and user. Now we have the authenticated user. So we will first need to populate. Okay, for the population, and what we initially decided, you remember, right? All the content of my this all the data over here will go to a single column on my database, and that will be, sorry, just let me open it. Oh, I haven't migrated my database yet. Sorry, PHP. It is migrate with step. Boom. Now we have a database. Now you see the column data over here. All our page configurations will be in this particular column. Okay. For example, all this data will be in this column data. So let's just, first of all, we will filter out if there is any record. Okay, because we have a single page and there will be a value once we update it. Okay, so we're just gonna check. We're gonna call the pages relation over here, and we will add a where to it. Let's put the property on. Okay, I will add where because as you remember, we mentioned like we will have a type of about. Okay, and once this about is added, every time a user hits save, this particular column will be updated. This particular row, sorry, will be updated. Okay, now we will resume. Here we will add where type is page about. Okay, and let's get the first record of this type of this particular user. Now, if there is a value, then we will mount our form with this particular value. Okay, sorry. Form, and we will fill it with the values. Okay, and for this, I forgot to do main thing like in our page. We will also add a cast because as you remember, this column is particularly JSON column, and we are going to use and pass out array. So we will add a protected over here. Let's say C cast column, and we will add data as array. Okay. Now let's move to resume page, and we will get the record if there is and pass the data. So far so good. And now our data is mounted if there is any. Okay, And then we will start by this part is done. Now we will add form. Public function form. It will have a form variable and element form type. Left only form, and we will return a form as well. So now, if I do this, let's return not like this. I have a form variable, right? So let's return the form variable and we will add schema to it. And so now we have a form variable. So let's move to the UI and decide what are the columns that we need. First, I have an education section. Let's search for a repeater, form builder repeater. We have a simple top. Okay, we have a simple repeater over here. Okay, we're just going to copy this one and I will paste it over here. Okay, just hit save and move to the browser and refresh the page. We have some error. Oh, we haven't mentioned any action yet, and we have added that action in the view. If I comment this part out and refresh my page again, now we have our repeater. Now I missed this part. This all should be commented for now, as we are not adding any actions at the moment. So you can see we have the repeaters right now. So first of all, what we will need, okay, what I need is a date of starting, a date of ending, course, and institute. Okay, let's move to the resume page. Over here, I will change this one to copy and I'm going to paste it over here. Education, and education has a date picker. Date picker will have date of joining. Let's turn the native to false. Okay, if you are familiar with filament, you already know what that means. Okay, it'll give you a nice view in your form. If I hit enter, now you see this nice form with the current decimal. Now I have date of joining. I will need a date of just let's name it living. Okay, let's do same because yeah, education should have date of living. Living if you are making a resume at the moment. But in some cases, this might not be the required because they might be pursuing that at the moment. So let's leave it unrequired for now. And now our third column is course. And which course were you or are you taking? So text input, make course. And I should make it required. And we have third one as well. It is issued from where you did that course. So now let's go to the view and hit refresh. Now, I haven't added this education as required. It should be because we are trying to add a resume. So resume should have your education mentioned. Oh, sorry, I misspelled it. Required. And if I hit refresh, you will see a red asterisk sign on the top which says that this is required. Now we have a date of joining, which is required, date of living, which is not. We have a course input where we can add I did PhD or something from ABC Institute. Now I can add multiple. Oopsie, I think there is some issue. Let me check. Inspect real quick. Talk to the bottom console. Application page dot resume cannot be. Okay, it's saying data of living cannot be empty. Then why did it display it at that moment? It should have. That's strange. And now this is even stranger. Okay. Oh, I remember now. I think it's because of the properties that I have mounted over here. If I Oh, I forgot to add the state path. Uh, that's a mistake. State path, and the variable name was data. Now let's hit refresh. Add one. If I move it over here and add course as PhD from ABC Institute and hit add. Okay, now it's working. Sorry. Now, as you can see, I have added the education. Similarly, we can add the and yeah, there is one more thing. A repeater has basically a very good UI if you want to use it. That is collapsed. And what does that mean? For example, if you have added a value, you can always see a column like this. But right now, if you have a collapsed column, you don't know what this education represents. Okay. And to fix this issue, I have a solution where you can add and see, like as you can see over here, if I collapse this one, you can always see what was the education and from where I did it and all other. Okay. So what we can do is we will add an item label over here, which will basically be a concat of our this is our import that was missing. And now if I hit refresh on this particular page, let's just say, oh, right now it's showing an empty, which I should have fixed it. Let's leave it as it is right now. And go to the first, add a course called PhD, and from ABC Institute. If I, as you can see now, it shows I did PhD from this institute. Everything same is the case with this as well. You can add course over here. Let's just see, I did ABC course from XYZ University, and then add another one, and I collapse it. Now you see, I have all my values listed on a title. I don't have to open it to view. I can just see over here and get a sense like what exactly it is. Okay, and yeah, pretty much that is what it is. Now the major thing, that is our action. Now where, as you saw, I commented this section out. So it, what does it calls? It calls a get form action method from my filament component. Now if I move over here, hit public function, and let's just copy the form action function from here and paste it here. Its return type will be an array. It will throw, right, to a return array of actions. Okay, let's just type return and pass empty array. I'm just going to copy the default action of filament, the save action default of filament. Okay. Now we have a submit method called save. So let's just make this method as well so that we can get a sense. Public function. Function's name is save because on submit this very method will be called and it won't return anything. It will just do its thing and return a notification. And for this we are going to use our filament certification. So I'm just going to copy the success notification and paste over here. And I will also import the notification. We have a form action. Now, if I go to this page and hit refresh, now I have a save change. Let me just add a single value from ABC, XYZ. And if I hit save, you can see I have a little message saying saved. And if I now come back again to this particular page, I don't have my values yet. What could be the reason? Let me just go and see if my values are populated in database yet or not. Okay, so they are not. Did I forget to mention something? Model page. It is what it is. Yes, correct. It is model page. Let me see. What? Oh, correct. I just added the save, but I haven't saved the values yet. Ah, sorry, my mistake. Now let's just save the values well. So I'm just going to use our try catch block. I won't be using the throwable. I will use the halt, which the form exception is, and we will just return, and we will not perform any type of action. Or you can also send out the notification if you want to throw a notification. Okay, this was the error or that was the error. Okay. Now let's just get the form state first of all, because now as the values have changed before hitting this form, we should get its state first. Okay, get state. Now with get state, we get the value of the form. Now what we can do, I can use the same user. Okay, let's just do this user pages, and I will use update and create, which will simplify my code pretty much because I have a condition on which I want to update something. So update and create is pretty much for that only. So my condition is that the type should be model page, model page about, and I forgot the comma is there. Now I want to update the data with the data. And cool. So I think now we are good. Let's just hit refresh, add some values, ABC, XYZ, it's saved. And now if I come back to again, I have a value populated. If I expand it, here it is. And if I go to my database and hit refresh, you can see I have a column with particularly these values. I will just show this to you. JSON format. I will just paste it over here. You can see I have added an education with this. I think I forgot to form has a capital value. That's the issue for mine. So that's why the key is in capital. Otherwise, the key should have been in small. So this is how the value will show up. Now you can use the resource manager or whatever you want to get this value on a front end, or you can also make APIs which can be used on different front end technologies such as React, Next.js, or anywhere else. So thank you for watching.